Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover on the Chausson 716 XLB, which is a 2017 model. To start now, a walk around on the driver's side of the vehicle. You've got your LPG, so liquid petroleum gas. This is your gas locker. Opens with the round-headed key. All your locks on the outside of the vehicle. And in here, the previous customer has had on gas low system, so you've got an 11 and a 6. So to turn the bottles on, you turn on here for the smaller bottle and on here for the bigger bottle. And then you do have a changeover valve, so you can go from one bottle to the other. So as you can see there, it's gone green because I've just opened the gas. There's gas in there. And to fill, you would fill from here. So you'd go to your local LPG centre. It's a bayonet fitting, connect, turn the front of the nozzle, pull the trigger back, and then press the filler on the digital display panel until it stops filling on the fuel pump. You've got your awning light and your fridge vents. This door is centre locking, but you can open it manually if you want. So to open the door, you press the button, lock the cab and unlock the cab at the top. WC, so this is your cassette toilet. So you've got to make sure that the blade's shut on the bottom bowl of the toilet, otherwise it won't come out. And you simply lift the handle, slide out. Got some wheels there so you can drag it around the site when it's full. When it's empty, you'd simply take this cap off, press the button, tip it out. This allows airing, allows it to flow nicer. And then what you can do is put some more water in, give it a shake, tip out again. And then if you're using the chemical form of liquid, the cap full into here, it's good to go into the vehicle. If you're using the liquid form, or should I say the tablet form, you'd put a pint of water in, drop a tablet down into there, and then push it back into the vehicle. Your wastewater drop is just behind the back wheel. So you drive over a special grid on the way out, pull the lever forward, and as you can see, this is just the water we've tested the vehicle with. So that's a point you would drain off in the winter as well. In here you've got your Easy Chefs. This is your outside barbecue system. So you can slide that out. In here you've got a gas tap there, so you can turn it on and off at the back. And then you've got your grill pan there, so you can use it as a barbecue to cook your tea. And then that just stores away nicely, and you just put that lever back round onto there to stop it from moving. Come to the back, you've got your large garage. And in here it is heated by the diesel heater. It has 240 and 12 volt. There's your own winding handle rail. You've got a waste extension pipe if you go on a super site, and you've got a hookup lead, and you do have corner steadies on the back of here, which are just here, so you can wind them down should you need to. You don't really need to use these as much, but the last owner has put these on for a bit more stability. So you just wind them down, exactly the same as a caravan leg. It just means that it's a bit more stable in the higher winds. As you'll notice on the bottom of the bumper as well, you've got parking sensors, so they're on there. And then at the top you've got your high level brake light and rear view camera, and you've got your 2 bike rack. So to operate your bike rack, you simply pull this down, so just loosen the strap off here first, just a clip. That slides down, bike wheels through them, these through the wheels of the bike spokes, put the bikes on the rail, and these through your crossbars. Walking further around the vehicle, you've got your smaller garage door, you've got your Truma vent for your diesel heater, and then at the front is your mains point, so you've got your mains connectivity point. You connect, lift the lever, slide on, connect the vehicle first, then the sight, and then do it in reverse when unhooking, as we don't want you walking around with a live lead. And then when unhooking, just push this small clip down to unhook. This locker here is called your Techni box locker. So in here you've got your fresh water filler. So what I'd do is I'd advise you go and buy a hose pipe. Can be food graded, which is blue, or can just be a hose that you've never used in the garden. Get some hose connections because it's mainly a brass tap on site. Hose into there until it overflows, until you're happy you've got enough water. This little lever here drains from a full tank to 20 litres. So if you are full tank and you are ready to travel, you'd lift that up, it'll leave 20 litres in there. Lift it up, put the pump on, open the tap, and it'll start squirting out underneath to drain the rest off. So from a full tank, or the remaining 20 litres, underneath the vehicle there is a bung there. You'll see it on the end of the blue pipe just here. You'd simply pull that off. It's just a 15mm plumber's push fit compression fitting. And in this side you've got your trips, your 12V fuses, and your charger. So I would carry some spare blade fuses. If the vehicle trips out, try here before you try your main site. And then at the passenger door, this is where you fill with your diesel, which is just a capless. It's got no cap on there to unscrew, just push the fuel filler in there. And below you've got AdBlue, which is an exhaust treatment. So you've got them, this will come up when it needs it on the dashboard, and as soon as it comes up, if you fill it up, it'll give you a 1,000-mile countdown. Try and do it as soon as possible, otherwise there is risk the vehicle can go into limp mode or fail to start. So this is just to keep your emissions low on a new diesel engine. Your engine battery is underneath the driver's seat, and your leisure battery lives underneath the passenger. And to spin the seats, you'd simply just use this half bar, pull the seat forward and spin it into the back. So once inside the vehicle, you've got your heating and hot water control panel here, which I'll go through in a second, and you've got your main 12V control panel. So this little green light here shows that you are hooked up and on mains electric. And then at the top you've got your on off button. So this will either turn on 12V if you're not hooked up, or 230 if you are. You've got your interior lights, which are all then individually switched. You've got your water pump here, so make sure you've got enough water in the tank and you'll be able to turn this on. And then should you use taps, toilet or shower, obviously make sure it is on and you'll get pressure through the taps. You've got your awning light, which is the light outside, and then these buttons here correspond to these on the side. So you've got your one of your trailer, which is your leisure battery reading there, fully charged. Your one of your truck, which is your Ford engine battery reading, which is fully charged, shown green. You've got your fresh water, which is half a tank, and then when this goes to red it means it's empty, and when this moves down to the next one it means your waste is full. And then should this panel be too bright for the people sleeping in the bed, you can dim and brighten the panel up by just pressing and holding the end right hand button, like so. Across from it you've got your Truma digital control panel, so you'd press and hold to turn on, and then you'd press to get into the menu, and you've got in the far left hand corner a motor home with a thermometer in. This is the temperature of the vehicle. You can have it all the way to 30 degrees or all the way down to off, and then you'd simply just press enter to save it at the temperature. Moving further along, you've got your water with your thermometer in, so you've got off, eco, which is equivalent to heating the water at 40 degrees, hot, which is heating it at 60 degrees, and boost, which will turn off the heating and prioritise the water. So for this we'll just say hot. And then moving further along, it's what source you want to run off. So you've got fuel on its own, which is diesel. If you're wild camping, as it's no gas on this one, it's diesel and electric. You've got a mixture of 1 kilowatt of electric and diesel, a mixture of 2 kilowatts and electric and diesel. You'd use this more in the winter to get the vehicle to temperature. If you wanted heat or you wanted water desperately, double the source reduces the heating time. You've got electric on 1 kilowatt, which you'd use mainly abroad or should you be drawing too much current and tripping the vehicle out. And electric on 2, which you'd use if you were on a site, and so you're not wasting your fuel. Just to note with the fuel, because the fuel is connected, takes a current off the light circuit. The lights can flicker when you put the fuel when you put the heating on, fuel, as it's just taking such a big startup of power. So what you may need to do is just start the engine if it is bothering you, just to put some more charge into the battery. But this will only last a couple of minutes, and then the lights will go back to being static. But that's just a common thing on all Chaussons. In the right hand corner, sorry, you've got your fan. So you can have done eco, which just reduces your 12-volt assisted fan. It will not sound as bad. Or you can have it on high, depending on, obviously eco is better for on a night. High could be better off during the day, should it be too loud for you on an evening. In the bottom corner you do have a timer, so you can time the heating to come on and off for on a morning. You've got a clock for the display panel, and then should you get a warning triangle in the middle, you'd go to the spanner setting, go to reset, and then press again. It'll say preset, and you'll have to then restart everything from scratch. And to turn on and off, you just press and hold. In your cupboard above your fridge freezer, you have your TV booster, which is here. So it's a fixed aerial. You've just got this black wheel here that you can turn to min and max the TV signal. And then this is your fuse spur for your air conditioning unit, which I'll go into further in a moment. But that's, obviously make sure the fuse spur is on, which powers the aircon. Then you can use the remote and turn on and off, which I'll show you. And then in here you have a dual charging solar panel, so it's charging leisure and vehicle battery. And this is just your controller here, so you can see the levels of your battery, the voltage going to the battery, the currents going to the battery, and so on. So to operate your drop down bed above your lounge, you simply turn the key to the on position, which is horizontal, and then just press and hold. Don't keep clicking, press and hold for this switch, otherwise it could cause a problem. So just press and hold and the bed will come down. And as you can see, you've got your safety nets for young children, which just clip in all the corners, and the ladder which clips on here. So to operate your fridge freezer, you press on and off here, and as you can see there, it says A, and it's on the hookup. A stands for automatic energy selection, so the brain of the fridge knows what source is available to it at any one time, and it picks the correct source. So at the moment we are hooked up and the gas is turned on, it's when to hook up, as it knows not to waste the gas. If I was to take the hookup out now, it would switch over to gas, and if I was then to start the engine, it would go to the battery setting, which is off your engine battery alternator, not your leisure battery, and it's designed to keep the temperature of the fridge the same when traveling as it was when you left, basically. So it turns it into a bit of a cool box, and it keeps everything fresh. So the idea with that is you'd chill it the day before, put your shopping in, allow it to get lovely and cool overnight, chill your shopping, and then when you do start traveling, if it's on automatic, you don't need to bother. You just crank the engine over, or if you want to manually do it, you just press the square button here. So there, it's manually on hookup, it's manually on battery, and it's code 6, which means the engine's not running, and that's gone to red. Or it's manually on gas. You've got your temperature here, so 5 bars being the coldest, and then this little setting here is just designed to stop the rubber from getting stuck to the door should the fridge be on for a long period of time, say a week's holiday or longer. Stops it from getting stuck. You've got your freezer box there and your fridge, and when you're finished with it for the season, if you just wipe it down, clean it out, and then don't shut the doors. Underneath each handle you do have a little toggle, so there's a toggle under there and a toggle under here, and if you just line them up with the holes in there, so we line this one up, basically keeps the doors open, allows air circulation in and out the fridge and freezer box, and stops any mold from growing when you've got it stood up for the winter months. So now in your kitchen area, so you've got a Fetford 3-burner hob. So you do need to make sure you've got a match or a clicker just to light these for ignition, and then you've got 3 gas rings, and underneath you've got your Fetford oven and grill. You've got your grill pan there, so you can turn your oven on, And then above, you've got your grill. You've got a light on the oven as well. And then if you are removing your oven shelves, if you always make sure the funny shapes go at the back and the flat side goes to the front, this is designed to stop the burner from being blocked. And then you may want to remove your grill pan and oven shelf when travelling, or wrap them up to stop the rattle. Underneath you've got a storage drawer, and in here you do have storage in these two large drawers, and then in the small drawer you've got a cutlery drawer. On the side of this unit here, you've got the light switch for the light that's above the bed for when people are using it. And then with all the lockers, if you just squeeze, releases the travel catch, and you've got storage in there. And you've got your little light here, which is just on a toggle switch. And then this is just showing that your water pump is working and your water is getting hot there. As you can see, the steam coming off the water. So to operate your aircon, obviously first of all make sure your fuse spur is turned on in the cupboard above the fridge freezer. Then you just simply turn on, point to the infrared eye, give it a couple of seconds once you've pressed the button and that's flashed red. The system will then start up. As you can hear there, it's starting up. And then what you do is you've got some modes, so you've got recirculating air, cooling, heating, so you can heat the vehicle with the aircon as well. And obviously you can recirculate the air from the diesel heater or cool it down if you're abroad. Or on off here you've got your fan speed, so 1 or full. And then if you just slide the remote down, you can do timers and things. But the most of all, you've got your lights, so you can have the lights switched on here. Just this button here turns the lights on. And if you press the button here, it brings the lights on. So to use the toilet, first of all you've got to make sure that you've got water and your pump is on. So you'd press the blue button first to flush the toilet. So fill it with water first, then what you want to do is you want to open the blade, so that slide to the right. Use the toilet with the blade open because everything then goes into the cassette and nothing seeps around the cassette, whereas if you flushed it, used the toilet normally like in a house and then flushed it after use with the water in, sometimes the water can seep around the cassette, which is a common thing on motorhomes and caravans. And it isn't a fault on a particular vehicle, it's just that the rubber can sometimes perish. But always flush, open the blade. Not only does that lubricate the blade, but everything goes into the cassette. Use the toilet, obviously flush again via the blue button at the back, and then isolate, which is slide to the left, sorry. Open to the right, slide to the left to shut. And then that means you can get the cassette out should it be full and you want to empty it from outside. You will get a light this side when the cassette is full. Your bathroom lights on here. You've got the toiletry cabinet there, toiletry cabinets here, a hanging rail, and then you do have a tinted window. You've got your blackout blind, clip together, fly screen, and to depart just pinch in the middle. And then that's also working as well. So now in your shower, you've got your duct board, which is better for bearing weight, so if you want to store things in there when you're travelling you can, and obviously that lifts out for cleaning. I would take your shower head off your shower hose. As you can see, it's got quite a loop in there in the winter, and leave it dangling down in the shower tray with all your mixer taps open throughout the vehicle. You've got a fly screen there and a blackout blind, and then open, you just turn this. So just turn. You need to make sure that you've unlocked the lid first by lock and unlock here, and then you can turn to open the skylight if you've been using the shower. And then should you've been caught in the rain or you've got wet towels, hang things in here and they can drip dry. then one last thing with your shower screens is they are just magnetic, so they're just clip together, and then make sure the strap's put around them before travelling off. Stops them from pinging open and closed. So with the 718 being an easy bed system, you find this just in these two clips here. This is your bed winder, so if you put it through here, clip onto this bar, and then this is driven on a belt system, so you can wind it up to get bikes in the boot, and you can wind it down if the bed is too high. So just keep winding. And you can bring the bed down to a lower height. Underneath here is where you find your winter valve for draining your boiler off. So it's very important that you drain your boiler off in the winter months, so leave no water in the vehicle at all. So no matter if it's fresh, waste or boiler. So what you need to do is, in here there is a frost control, which is this here. At 3 degrees it will automatically drop the water. The diamond is pointing across the vehicle. And there's a blue button on the very bottom, just down here. Obviously when the blue button's pushed in and the diamond's across the vehicle, it's holding water. To drop it, what you need to do is just turn. As you can see, the blue button's popped out and it's front to back. To stop this, you just turn and push the blue button back in once you've turned it to hold water again. But in the winter, it's very important that you drain the boiler off by turning it front to back and allowing the button to pop out, as the warranty doesn't cover any frost damage, as it's your responsibility to drain the vehicle down. Then open the fresh and waste from outside, pulling that bung off underneath the vehicle, and opening all taps within the van. When coming to reuse the vehicle, shut everything first, fill with water, go to the cold side of the tap first by putting the pump on. You'll automatically get cold water. Go to the hot side, it will cough splitter, and what it's doing is it's filling the 10 litres of water into the boiler that's located under here as well. Once you get a steady flow on one tap, do them all, and then the system is primed for the season. To move the table around in the lounge, if you just push here first, you'll then be able to slide front and back, so you can move it further into the cab if the seats were turned. And then to drop the table, what you do is press on here, put your body weight on from on top, and it'll push down. And then when travelling, if you've got passengers travelling in the back, this section does remove out, so there's a board there which slides back and you push this runner in, and this just makes a U-shaped lounge for when you're sighted. So now in the cab, to the right of the driver, you have your handbrake, which is a fold-away handbrake. So when it ratchets up, you know it's on. Press the button, drop it down, you'll see that the light goes out on the dash. You've got your electric windows, and to lock the doors, you just press this button here, which will also lock the habitation door on an evening. You've got your electric mirror adjustments, which does the tops only. You have to manually push the blind spot on the bottom of the mirror. Side lights and headlights, headlight adjustment, and front and rear fog lights. On the side windows, if you just pinch them, you'll be able to slide these down, and this blacks out your side windows. And then on the front, you just pinch and slide along, slides behind the mirror, just because this has got the rain sensor, built-in sensors in there, so it goes round like so. And this blacks the windscreen out. And then on the steering wheel, you've got your wipers and your indicators, all your audio controls, and this goes through your built-in screen on the speedo, so it'll tell you your range, your miles per hour digitally, your outside temperature, your average speed, your average fuel usage, your instant fuel usage, your travelling times, and so on. You've got cruise control on here and speed limiter where you set, and cancel resume here. Obviously the cruise will cancel with the brake anyway. This has got the power shift gearbox in it from Ford, so it's a 6-speed automatic transmission. So you've got drive, you've got manual, and then you can use the thumb switch. You've got drive, but you can still intervene in drive on the thumb switch, and this will learn how you drive this gearbox. So if you're quite heavy footed, it'll change gear quicker, but if you're not, obviously then it'll hold the gear. And then obviously park, this is a true automatic, so you do have park, but what I would advise is that you still do use your handbrake, just because if you don't use your handbrake, sometimes when you get round to having it serviced or MOT'd, then there could be an issue with your handbrake season or the cable. So do just keep using that handbrake as well. You've got you've got 12 volt there, you've got your fans for your heater, your recirculation, your temperature, your aircon, and where you want the air to be blown to. To open, push here, this opens this flap above the drivers, which has got 2 USBs in for the head unit, because it's got the upgraded Sync 3 head unit in, and you do have your 12 volt. So getting onto the upgraded head unit from Ford themselves. So you've got your Sync unit, so you've got audio here, which is DAB and Bluetooth, DAB, FM, AM and Bluetooth. So you go to sources, so you've got Bluetooth audio, DAB, FM and AM. So what you can do is you can scroll through the stations. You can, if you go to presets, you can save up to 12 channels on here by just pressing the blocks. Block 5A, you just save your favourite channels, and to do so you just press stations and then press plus and minus, and it'll find your stations there. So it'll find the local and the BBC channels and the international channels as well. You've got phones here, so you'd pair a phone by
your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
So you'd go to your device and make sure you can find Ford Transit, which would be this head unit, and then press pair on here, and then it'll ask you if you want to allow your contacts to be synced. Press allow, and it'll download your phone book. You've got navigation, which is an up-to-date head unit, so obviously it's only a couple of years old, so all the roads should be fine on here, but obviously it's not designed for a motorhome, so do take that into consideration. So just recentralize your car there, press menu, and then you can press navigation and put your postcode in there. But this is obviously just designed as a Ford Transit sat nav. And then you've got your mobile apps. Settings, you can go into settings and do your general, your sound and so on. So just about sync. So this is the Sync 3 system, and it's version 2.2. And obviously it does give you a chassis number there, so it's coded to your vehicle as well. Obviously this is a very easy system to use, as it's in most Ford vehicles. You've got your tune, your source, your volume, so you can scroll along there. And then you've got your sound settings as well. Mute and display. You can turn your display off if you want your head unit on an evening, but you don't want the glare off the screen. And then you just turn it on and off from here. Obviously hazards, and then this will illuminate when you lock the doors off there. So as you can see there, that means the doors are locked.